Bonjour.
Nice to meet you again. Last time, we learned about who and whom, how to count to 10, and the nationalities. Today, we will learn how to greet someone, how to count from 10 to 20, and what language do you speak, by using the verb to talk. Now that you got a good picture about this lesson, let's start with the greeting. Firstly, for this phrase, I will have to show it to you in the formal form and then in the informal form. For the formal form, we will say
Comment allez-vous?
and. For the informal form, we will say
Comment vas-tu?
which means literally how go you. The answer will be if it is positive
Je vais bien.
and if it is negative,
Je vais mal.
which means literally I go well when it is positive and I go bad when it is negative. And you?
Comment allez-vous?
You can reply that for yourself. That form was the long one. Let's learn now the shorter form. For example, to say, all right, or, okay, to know your feeling. In French, we can just say,
Ça va?
which means, literally, that, go, then, you can answer to that
Ça va.
when it is positive, and when it is negative,
Ça ne va pas.
which means, literally, that doesn't go, not. Like for the long one, just use it for yourself. Now, let's learn more about the number, this time, from 10 to 20. Like for the previous lesson, just be patient with yourself. And remember, after you will master the number from 1 to 20, things will become much easier. So, let's start now with 11, which is said in French.
11,
The number 12, it is said.
12,
The number 13, it is said.
13,
Let's repeat these three numbers.
11, 12, 13,
Let's continue with three more numbers. For the number 14, it is said.
14,
For the number 15, it is said.
15,
For the number 16, it is said.
16,
Let's repeat the six numbers.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Now, for what is coming next, we need to remember that French culture come from the Roman Catholic Church, and so, when it is about the number 7, we are pointing on Rome. Why at 7 and not another number? Because 7 is considered as the number of God. So, the French language will tend to count, like the Romans, from the number 7. So, for the number 17, we will say, literally, 10, 7, which is said.
17,
And, of course, continuing the same logic, 18 will be 10, 8, which is said.
18,
And, finally, for 19, it will be 10, 9, which is said.
19,
Let's count again these 9 numbers.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Now, for the last number, 20, it is said.
20.
Yes, the last two consonants are not pronounced. They are quiet. Now, you can count from 0 to 20, which is the basis for going further with numbers in French. You will see that next time, in another lesson. Let's work now on the languages you can speak, using the verb to speak or to talk, which is the same verb in French.
Parler.
This verb is of the first group, that is to say, that it has a certain ending, but in addition, it is regular, which means that the base of the verb will never change during conjugation. So, this is a good occasion to talk about regular verb in French. To do so, just take the base from the infinitive and put it throughout the conjugation, and then add the ending. And this is done. Now, just pronounce it.
Je parle. Tu parles. Il parle. Elle parle. Nous parlons. Vous parlez. Il parle. Elle parle.
Let's use this verb to ask, which language do you speak? And how to reply. Here are some examples of questions that can be asked.
Vous parlez quelle langue?
Or again,
Quelle langue parlez-vous?
or in the short form,
Vous parlez quoi?
which you can answer, for example, by
Je parle français.
or
Je parle anglais.
or again.
Je parle chinois.
But if you know more than one language, you can use the preposition
Et
which means, in French, and. For example,
je parle français et anglais.
as you can hear, there is no link between the consonant of the word a and the vowel in front. This is an exception. Let's continue one last time.
Je parle chinois et japonais.
That's all for today. I hope it was very useful for you to progress. If you have any questions regarding this lesson, leave me a comment below. I will answer you as soon as I can. Of course, if you enjoyed this lesson, give me a thumbs up. It's always a pleasure. And for those who haven't done so yet, just subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any lessons. But for the moment, see you next time.